Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I may be 65, but I still feel like I'm 40 inside? There's a certain vitality, a spark, that doesn't have an expiration date. And for many of us, that spark includes a desire for intimacy and connection. It's a beautiful, natural part of life that doesn't just disappear when we hit a certain birthday. But here's the thing no one really talks about. As our incredible, lived-in bodies change, the way we approach intimacy has to change with it. It's like driving a beloved classic car. You wouldn't push it to 90 miles an hour on a bumpy road without checking the tires first, would you? You take care of it differently to keep it running smoothly for years to come. Today, we're going to have an honest, open conversation about just that. If you are still enjoying an active, intimate life, good for you. That is something to celebrate. But to make sure you can continue to enjoy it safely and healthily for a long, long time, there are a few common habits we all might have picked up along the way that are worth rethinking. Think of this as a friendly chat, a little check-in to help you protect your heart, your body, and your overall well-being, so you can focus on what really matters, the connection and joy that intimacy brings. So, let's start with the first thing you might need to stop doing. Number 1 is perhaps the most common, and it's the habit of rushing. When we were younger, life was often a whirlwind. Between work, raising kids, and 1,000 other commitments, intimacy could sometimes feel like just another item on the to-do list, something to be done quickly and efficiently. But now, your time is your own. There's no need to race. In fact, rushing is one of the worst things you can do for your body and the overall experience. Think about it. As we age, natural lubrication can decrease for everyone, and it takes a little longer for the body to respond. That's not a problem, it's just a fact. If you rush past that, you're not giving your body the time it needs to be ready. This can lead to discomfort or even minor injuries, which can put a real damper on things. But more than just the physical side, rushing robs you of the moment. The best part of intimacy at this stage of life isn't the sprint, it's the slow, steady, connected journey. It's about reconnecting with your partner, enjoying the closeness, the touch, the laughter. When you slow down, you trade performance for presence. You trade anxiety for enjoyment. Give yourselves permission to take all the time in the world. Let foreplay be the main event. Rediscover each other's skin, hold hands, and talk. The physical act will be so much better and so much safer when your body is truly ready and your mind is fully in the moment. So, stop rushing. Slow down and savor it. This naturally leads us to the second thing you need to stop doing, which is ignoring what your body is telling you. For many of us, especially if we've spent our lives being the caretakers, the fixers, the ones who push through, it's second nature to ignore little aches and pains. We might think, oh, it's just a twinge in my back, or my knee is a little stiff today, I'll just power through. But when it comes to intimacy, this mindset can backfire in a big way. Your body is incredibly wise, and it communicates with you constantly. A little whisper of discomfort during intimacy is not something to brush aside. It's a signal. It could be a sign that a certain position is putting too much strain on a joint affected by arthritis. It could be related to a medication you're taking. It could be a symptom of an underlying issue you haven't addressed, like high blood pressure or heart problems, that can make physical exertion riskier. Pain is not a normal part of intimacy. And it's certainly not something you should just grin and bear. When you ignore those whispers, you run the risk of them turning into shouts, a pulled muscle, a flare-up of a chronic condition, or worse. Think of it this way, this is a time for tuning in, not tuning out. Before and during intimacy, do a mental scan. Ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Is there any tension or discomfort? And have that same conversation with your partner. Is this okay? Is this comfortable for you? This open dialogue isn't unromantic, it's an act of deep care and respect. It shows that you value your partner's well-being and your own, above all else. If you notice a recurring ache, make a note of it. Don't be shy about mentioning it to your doctor. They've heard it all, and they can offer solutions, whether it's suggesting different positions, physical therapy, or simply giving you the reassurance that what you're feeling is normal and manageable. So, we've talked about slowing down and listening closely. Those two things alone can transform your experience. Now, as we continue this conversation, the next point is about a habit that can be a little harder to break because it's often seen as a virtue. I'm talking about the belief that you have to rely solely on your own steam. We'll dive deep into that next. Stay with me. I'm talking about the belief that you have to rely solely on your own steam. It's that old-fashioned sense of pride, isn't it? The idea that asking for help or using a little assistance means you're somehow failing or giving up. But let me ask you this, if your knees bothered you when you went for a walk, would you refuse to use a sturdy walking stick? Of course not. You'd use the tool that helps you keep moving and enjoying your walk. Intimacy is no different. So, the third thing you need to stop doing is being too proud to use a little help. This help can come in many forms. The most obvious, and often the most avoided, is simply talking to your doctor. Many people suffer in silence with issues like erectile dysfunction or vaginal discomfort, thinking it's just part of getting old. And yes, changes are normal, but suffering in silence isn't necessary. These are medical conditions, and just like high cholesterol or arthritis, there are treatments and strategies that can help. A quick, honest conversation with your doctor could open the door to solutions that can completely revitalize this part of your life. Don't let embarrassment hold you back from getting help that is readily available. But help isn't just about medication. It's about the simple tools that can enhance comfort and safety. Think about lubrication. In our younger years, it might have seemed like an optional extra. Now, it can be an essential tool for comfort and preventing the minor tearing or irritation that can happen when natural lubrication is slower. Using a good, quality lubricant isn't an admission of defeat, it's a smart strategy for making the experience more pleasurable and safe for both of you. And then there's the physical support. Maybe a certain position that you've used for 40 years now puts a strain on your back or your hips. Why keep struggling with it? Get creative. Use extra pillows for support. Prop yourselves up differently. The goal is to find a way to be together that is comfortable and joyful, not to stubbornly stick to a routine that causes pain. Think of pillows as your allies. They can take the pressure off joints, provide support, and help you both relax into the moment instead of tensing up against discomfort. This idea of using help also applies to your environment. Maybe the lighting is too harsh, or the room is a little too chilly. Make your space work for you. Adjust the temperature, put on some soft music, create an atmosphere that invites relaxation. This isn't about putting on a show, it's about creating a cocoon of comfort where you can both feel at ease. So, let go of the pride. Embrace the tools and the help that are available. It's not about what you used to do, it's about what you can do now to feel good, safe, and connected. Now, building on this idea of setting the stage for safety and comfort, let's talk about something that might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of intimacy. The fourth habit to stop is neglecting the foundation of your overall health, particularly your heart health and your medications. This is a big one, and it's all about connecting the dots. Intimacy, especially at its peak, is a form of physical activity. It raises your heart rate, it gets your blood pumping. For most people, this is a wonderful, healthy thing. But if you haven't been paying attention to your cardiovascular health, it can also be a moment of hidden risk. Think of your heart like the engine in that classic car we talked about earlier. You wouldn't take it out for a long drive on a hot day without checking the oil and making sure the radiator was full, right? The same principle applies here. If you have high blood pressure, undiagnosed heart issues, or if you've been sedentary for a while, a sudden burst of exertion can put a strain on your system. So, what does stop neglecting mean in a practical sense? It means having that checkup. It means knowing your numbers, your blood pressure, your cholesterol. It means being honest with your doctor about your lifestyle so they can give you the green light and any necessary precautions. A simple stress test or a conversation could give you immense peace of mind, knowing that your heart is healthy enough for this joyful activity. And this brings us to a very specific and crucial point, your medications. As we get older, the list of pills in the weekly organizer can get pretty long. And many common medications have effects you might not be aware of. Some blood pressure medications, for example, can affect arousal or response. Other drugs might cause dizziness or a drop in blood pressure upon exertion, which is the last thing you want in a moment of passion. This isn't a reason to stop taking your medication, not at all. It's a reason to become an expert on your own health. Take a look at those little information pamphlets that come with your prescriptions. Or, better yet, have a conversation with your pharmacist or doctor. You can simply say, "I'm active, and I want to make sure there aren't any interactions I should be aware of." They can tell you if your medication might affect your heart rate during activity, or if there are timing strategies, like taking a pill at a different time of day, that could help. By taking care of your heart and understanding your medications, you are not being overly cautious. You're being smart. You're ensuring that your body's engine is tuned up and ready to go, so you can enjoy the ride without any unexpected breakdowns. It's about removing the hidden obstacles so you can focus entirely on the connection you share. This proactive, informed approach is the foundation for everything. And it leads perfectly into our final point, which is all about mindset and the one thing you absolutely must stop doing to protect not just your body, but the very heart of your relationship. We'll get to that final, crucial piece right after this. We've talked about slowing down, listening to your body, getting over the pride of using a little help, and being smart about your heart health and medications. All of these things set the stage for a safe and enjoyable experience. But none of it will matter if we don't address the fifth and perhaps most important habit you need to stop. And that is letting fear and silence take the driver's seat. This is the big one. It's the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of looking foolish, or the fear that things won't be like they used to be. And what does fear do? It silences us. We stop talking to our partner about what we want, what we need, or what's bothering us. We start making assumptions. We assume they know we're uncomfortable, or we assume they won't understand, so we just avoid the whole conversation altogether. But here's the truth. Silence is the enemy of intimacy. It builds walls. It creates distance. And that distance can be far more damaging to a relationship than any physical issue ever could be. When you let fear silence you, you're not protecting your partner, you're shutting them out. You're dealing with your worries alone, which just makes them grow bigger in your mind. Think about it. How many arguments or hurt feelings stem from a simple misunderstanding? Maybe one of you has a new ache or pain, but instead of mentioning it, you just seem a little distant or uninterested. Your partner might feel rejected, not knowing you were just trying to avoid a position that hurt your back. A simple, "Honey, my back is a little stiff today, can we try this instead?" turns a moment of potential frustration into a moment of teamwork. So, the fifth thing you need to stop doing is letting fear keep you quiet. You need to start talking. And it doesn't have to be a big, dramatic, sit-down conversation in the middle of the living room. It can start with small, gentle moments of honesty. It can start with a compliment and a question. "You know, I love being close to you. I was just thinking, is there anything that feels really good to you these days? Because I want to make sure we're both enjoying this." This kind of open dialogue is like water for a wilting plant. It revives things. It reminds you that you're a team, navigating this stage of life together. It allows you to be vulnerable, and vulnerability, believe it or not, is incredibly attractive and bonding. It shows trust. It shows that you value the person and the connection more than you value your own pride. When you talk, you can laugh together about the quirks of getting older. You can problem solve together. "Okay, that didn't work so well, what if we try this?" You can reassure each other. "It's okay if it takes a little longer, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just happy to be here with you." That kind of reassurance is priceless. It takes all the performance pressure off and puts the focus back where it belongs, on the love, the comfort, and the shared experience. So, as we wrap this up, let's just take a moment to bring it all together. It really comes down to a simple shift in perspective. This isn't about clinging to the past or trying to recreate your 30s. This is about embracing the present and writing a new, beautiful chapter. It's about slowing down and savoring the journey instead of racing to the destination. It's about listening to the wisdom of your body and honoring what it tells you. It's about being smart enough to use the tools and help available to you, from a good lubricant to an honest conversation with your doctor. It's about building a strong foundation by managing your overall health, so your heart and body are ready for anything. And most of all, it's about choosing connection over fear and keeping the lines of communication wide open with the person you love. You have a lifetime of experience, of love, of knowing what makes you happy. Don't leave that wisdom at the door when it comes to intimacy. Bring it with you. Let it guide you. This is your time to redefine what connection means on your own terms. It can be deeper, more tender, more meaningful, and more fun than ever before. I'd love to hear from you. What has your experience been? Have you and your partner found new ways to connect and navigate these changes? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Let's keep this important conversation going. Your insights could be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If this conversation resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. We're building a community here of people who believe that life, in all its stages, is meant to be lived fully and joyfully. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Here's to your health, your happiness, and to the beautiful, lasting connections that enrich our lives. Here's to living your best life at any age. Take care of yourselves and each other.